Today's 16-bit superhero adventure is a SNES cartridge I picked up called the Phantom 2040. This is based on a 90s TV series, an animated series that I had never watched. I had seen the Billy Zane Phantom movie, which was pretty bad, but the character seems cool. He's got a big purple suit, so stands out. You know, has like really cool like shades or a mask on. Got a distinctive kind of style to it. I'm not really familiar with all of the storyline, and this game, I think, really asks you to have at least some familiarity with the characters and some of the plot lines. I've read that this is very much in line with some of the plot threads and some of the story elements that were part of the animated series, so I was a bit lost. The game throws a ton of exposition and a ton of plot at you right from the get-go. It's kind of based and set up like a Metroidvania, although it's definitely not as easy to get into and as sophisticated as we've seen with the Castlevania series or the Metroid series. The movements are a little bit clunky, a little bit cumbersome. I definitely felt that with jumping and sending out my grappling hook, my little rope tether thing that would allow me to stick to walls and stick to ceilings and then swing up and do double jumps and stuff like that. He's quite athletic, this Phantom character. He's also got a huge chunk of different weapons. It starts off with like a regular energy blaster, which you're just constantly shooting at all kinds of enemies. You can watch your little energy bar tick down, by the way, and you're constantly having to replenish that. But then you can get cool weapons, like you drop a little sort of smoke grenade that extinguishes fire, or you can shoot a sort of a timed grenade at different objects and they will blow up. You're blasting through walls. You're also destroying a bunch of different computer terminals that will allow you to access different areas, all of them conveniently numbered, by the way. And you're going to be doing a lot of retraversal, meaning you're going to go back and explore different areas that you've seen before as you've picked up different gadgets and weapons, which is par for the course with Metroidvania type of experiences. And I think a lot of that stuff, it works quite well. And I've been playing so many brawlers and so many kind of linear scrolling experiences in my 16-bit superhero segment here that this felt much bigger and much more robust, and also honestly overwhelming in terms of story and, you know, all of these characters, and I was getting into weird boss fights and stuff. I just wish that the collision detection and the tactility of the game was a little sharper. I feel like it's kind of there, but it's definitely not at the fidelity that you would see in Super Metroid or something, which it's hard not to compare this game to. And also my lack of familiarity with the mythology of the Phantom 2040 also distances myself from, you know, really getting into this and loving it. But I do have to give this game a tremendous amount of respect because it is ambitious and it's beefy and I think it's value-packed, and I also think that it's a great collectible, particularly if you're like me and you dig this idea of getting a bunch of superhero games from the 16-bit era. I think this is a solid pickup. I'm glad I have it in my collection. I also feel like this is a game that I'll keep going back to kind of unravel its mysteries and stuff. And as you know, I'm not reviewing these games based on any kind of, you know, look back or how I remember these games. Well, for starters, I never had this game before. I picked it up recently at some kind of swap meet or convention or something. And I'm glad that I have it, and I've had a lot of fun with this title. I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10.